Whoa. Whoa. It's the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. All right. We're getting the new vibe going on here when we get into this subject matter here, dude. Let's see. I don't know if the chat's going. I got to work. Bear with me, my loyal viewers, because I got to figure out where I'm at. Okay, there we are. All right, we're there. And where is my chat? Where is the chat? Open panel. Boom. All right, dude. You like that? So you like the suit? Yeah. All right. Wait. Let me get this going here. Boom. And we're figuring this all out on the fly, dude. My hair is causing a little bit of trouble for the thing. All right, wait, hold on. And whoa, this is the illusion reporting from somewhere on spaceship Earth. This bubbly water is for you. All right, man, we're here. We're pulling in, dude. You like this setup I scored from the thrift store? $10, dude. $10, and we're figuring out how to use this platform properly, dude. Glenn Davis, Michelle, Grizzly Moto, dude. Very polite. Richard, Ryan Lyon, Paul, Austin, William. So like, subscribe, join the channel. We're gonna get into the government's obvious abuse of the passing of Charlie Kirk's, dude, and I got it straight from the Attorney General's mouth, man. So we're gonna go over that stuff in a little bit, dude. Yeah, I'm not, dude. Guaranteed, dude. I'm wearing shorts, dude. Right on, Progressive Jeff. You can guarantee that there's no bands accompanying this. I'm just a talking head, yo. But you I like that. I like the colors, dude. Oh yeah, it's definitely, What size jacket is that? My size. It's my size jacket, dude. So we're here, dude. Like, subscribe, join, become a member, dude, and we're gonna get into it, dude. It's gonna be a minute to actually figure out how to work this. I've been practicing over on my Lego channel, so we will. For some reason, the chat isn't on the screen like it's supposed to be, dude. Where is it? I don't know, dude. Close, dude. It's supposed to be right up here in the corner, but maybe I'm not supposed to see it. I don't know. So anyway, we're gonna get into the hustle that's going on here, because most people are not catching on to it, dude. Yeah. Well, I think the tragedy that's going on here. I got to get used to the thing, because I got my clips lined up, but I don't know if they're in the proper spot. What's going on here, man, is they got everybody off over in conspiracy land, and that's the psyop right here, is to get everybody talking about the conspiracy over here, dude, and that's the whole deal with Netanyahu, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, the shooter, Kash Patel, the FBI, all of those guys, man, are all a decoy, because what they really don't want you to be getting into is dude, wait, there it is. Okay, that's better. What they really don't want you getting into is what they're really up to, which is they've somehow convinced the conservative, right-wing, MAGA-tarded free speechers to actually build a database that's ultimately going to be used against them. And it's the amazing thing is that I see is the fact that this group of people on the right, which claims to be free speech and all about this and that, are willing to do exactly what they didn't learn during 2020, dude, of the doxing, of the saying databases should be collected, people should be getting fired, and the social credit score incoming. Well, the social credit score is here, Paul. That's what I wanted to name the title of this video, dude. I got it. I got to write it down. I couldn't think because this is like a lot of new stuff coming my way with getting this thing going, dude. Social. Yeah, credits. I was going to make that the title. So thank you, Pablo. So this is you are beginning to watch the enacting of the social credit score built by the conservatives. And this is the irony, is if it, like, not to get like into the whole biblical thing, because that's a different place for this, but if you understand the mark of the beast and you will not be able to buy, sell, or trade, it's all based upon a social credit score system. And the irony is they have the right-wing Christians building the database right now, and it's and on top of it, and they're actually promoting the government doing this too. So let's go listen to Attorney General Pam Bondi, the top cop, and she'll tell you all about it. All right, let's see if I can pull this off here. Wait, dude, I kind of did this too. All right. Oh, there's my chat. Okay, there's my webcams all in there. Look at that, dude. There you go. All right, let's see how this looks. I'm sorry for being super distracted, but I'm breaking new ground. I'm committing to the new path. I'm gonna start doing like a regular, but you know my thing, right? Is I firmly believe that one of the things our society has failed at is we do need to kind of dress the part a little bit. And you can get all into ties being the whole thing and the symbology of it all. But then again, if we're going to try to legitimize the thing, I think the social credit only applies to Hollywood actors and Screen Guild card holders. Yeah, well, it's about to apply to all of us, courtesy of Attorney General Pam Bondi. So which one do we want to, let me see, dude. This is all, there we go. All right, let's listen to her herself talk about, she does look not that, where is it? Pam Bondage is going to speak on our behalf. So here we go. Pam Bondage on Katie Miller's podcast. So who's Katie Miller? Stephen Miller's wife. So this is all coming straight out of the White House. All right. So here we go.
Far and wide now.
I think the change from the first term is that this cabinet really likes each other, supports each other, wants to work together to achieve the goals.
Sorry.
We say that. We genuinely love and care about each other. And when one of us is having a bad day,
I don't want to hear this. Where's the thing I wanted? Darn, I'm blowing it right off the bat.
Everyone just circles the wagons. We all call each other. We support each other.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Dude, I farmed it.
And he wouldn't tell me what it was because you just have to see this. And I think more than ever,
whatever you need. And I think
darn. Okay, I'm blowing it right off the bat. So we're gonna go right to the other clip I got on backup, dude. Maybe it won't. Maybe I won't blow it so hard, dude. We are in the nucleus stage of getting super serious here on this YouTube channel. So bear with us, dude. I do not have anyone in the background helping me out right now. So let's see. I have enough. Let's go to the other clip here, and we got to block out. Is that the? Where's this one? Oh, dude. Window capture. No, wait a minute, dude. Oh, bro. Where is it, dude? Where is Pam Bondage in her other one? You're seeing it in real time, dude. I'm working out the bugs. I had this dialed in, dude, but apparently I think I moved my my thing around. So here it is. There we go. All right, done. We'll get it right in here. We'll hear straight from the straight from her, but I'm not centered. Let's get that centered for you. There we go. And let's hear it.
I think millions of young people are coming out of the woodwork now. And I think we're going to see a lot of young women as well being very vocal in their conservative values. And Charlie was deeply, deeply religious. We all knew that. And he wore his faith on his sleeve. And I think you're going to be seeing a lot more young people die. That's horrific. It's free speech, but you should.
Oh, wait, here it is.
She said horrible things about Charlie Kirk and that he deserved to die. That's horrific. It's free speech, but you shouldn't be employed anywhere if you're going to say that. And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying horrible things, and they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. But I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking at that immediately, that Office Depot had done that. We're looking at that. But Sean, you know, they thought they could silence Charlie. All of this chatter, all of this hate, they couldn't silence Charlie. What they've done is they have created an army of people. I think millions of young people are coming out of the
Wait, where is it?
Horrible things. And lawyers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people because she said horrible things about Charlie Kirk and that he deserved to die. That's horrific.
Where is it?
First Amendment, and these people speak.
Here it is. Okay, here we go. Sorry, dude.
From your vantage point as Attorney General.
Well, sure, we all believe in the First Amendment, and these people speak horrible things. I think yesterday or today, Sean, a school board member right here in Virginia had to resign because she said horrible things about Charlie Kirk and that he deserved to die. That's horrific. It's free speech, but you shouldn't be employed anywhere if you're going to say that. And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying
where is
things.
free speech? It's not hate speech.
Working with you, businesses.
Darn it.
Broken with doxing of Supreme Court justices, and I think we are right.
I'm blowing it, you guys.
And probably should be prosecuted. But you also are watching.
Here we go. I think this is it, man. I think this is it. Coming for the big win.
You know, celebration of the left. We saw it with the United Healthcare CEO and the praise of Luigi Mangione, and you're seeing it in this case. It is evil, it is dark, it is sick.
Not as evil and dark and sick as you two. Okay.
Where does it become a legal issue from your vantage point as Attorney General?
Well, sure, we all believe in the First Amendment, and these people speak horrible things. I think yesterday or today, Sean, a school board member.
Where is it?
Broken with fire in a crowded theater.
Here it is. I think maybe, I don't know. I'm blowing it pretty hard, you guys. Bear with me. I forgot to queue up all my time codes, dude.
And people that work ICE agents, for example.
I was busy. I was so busy getting all the things set up. I blew it on this. We're working it out.
Watching and reading and hearing, you know.
Come on, man.
You know, celebration of the left. We saw it with the United Healthcare CEO and the praise of Luigi Mangione, and you see.
Dude, where is it when she says
court justices and against individuals? Certain things you cannot do. You cannot.
Shut up.
You cannot make that law was broken with General. Look, I make my living with the First Amendment, Madam Attorney General. You passionately believe in and support the First Amendment. There are certain things you cannot do. You cannot cry fire or scream fire in a crowded theater. You cannot make terroristic threats against individuals. I believe that law was broken with doxing of Supreme Court justices and people that work ICE.
Dude, I'm blowing it, you guys. Sorry about this. I lost it.
Have crossed it and probably should be prosecuted. But you also are watching.
Wait, I know there's a spot right where. Here, wait.
You have to let them do that. Discriminate. If you want to go in and they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures, to let them do that. we can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights immediately that Office Depot had done. But Sean, all of this chat have created an army of people are vocal in their faith on his sleeve, their religion, and to come out silent.
All right, well, I'm gonna cut this nonsense out for you guys because
I only got about 30 seconds.
I blew this. Darn, I blew my premiere suit and tie edition, dude. Darn it, man. We will cover these people's ugly mugs right now, and we will just go back into chatting about this. All right, what do I got to do here? I got to close that one, and I got to close this one. I got to close that one. That should get us back to the farmed it, dude. Completely blew it, dude. In no uncertain terms did I make a monkey out of myself right there, dude. But that's okay. It's a learning game, man, and that's what we got to do. Hey, listen, man. In order to go to the next level, we got to commit all the way, dude. So I committed, though. I do apologize. I didn't have my time. Basically, what Pam Bondi was saying was that hate speech and free speech are not the same thing. And absolutely hate speech is a constitutionally protected activity. And then in the other clip, she goes on with Stephen Miller's wife talking about how that people need to be found and this data needs to be collected and people need to be fired. And this, if this doesn't alarm everyone who is an advocate for, it's funny because I'm just about to be like, it doesn't really matter anyhow because it's all a spiritual game, but it does matter on a we're trying, Tom P. We're trying. No, we're gonna dial this in. The interface with this Streamlabs isn't that easy to use, dude. So it's but I realized I had to stop waiting to figure out how to use it and just start using it to the very best of my ability. So this is we're coming out. We're gonna do it. The mistake I made was I didn't queue up my videos because I listened to them and I let them play out, and then I forgot to re-queue them first. So that's note to self: re-queue all my videos, dude. I look like Dick Cavett, dude. Yeah, I'm ready to talk to people, dude. I'm fired up, dude. I'm like fired up in the dream, man. And so look, so what's going on here is they are in no uncertain terms see the way the system works, the evildoer dark system is they are going to use the actual person that was super clear. You have to understand, Charlie Kirk was super clear in his statement that there is no such thing as hate speech. That there's ugly speech, there's gross speech, there's despicable speech, but there technically isn't really anything called hate speech. It is just speech, dude. Yes, you are not allowed to incite violence. That makes sense in this in our society. You're not allowed to cause harm to people with your words, dude. And so it's this thing where what they're doing, and the irony of this is we went through this in 2020. Didn't we already go through this in 2020? And you'll have all the talking heads say that, well, they did it to us in 2020, so they get their just desserts. And I don't think that's I don't think two wrongs make a right. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that two wrongs don't make a right. They make a right. Apparently, two wrongs do make a right winger. Yeah, two wrongs do make a right winger. But so it's the situation where the beastly system needs to bring to totally throw people off by using the actual dude who was like the number one like dude who was an advocate for the First Amendment. Like, listen, there's plenty of reasons to disagree with what Charlie Kirk had to say. I don't doubt that, and I would argue that if you're pretty far on the left side of the liberal spectrum of the middle, like, yeah, you're going to start disagreeing with a lot of what he says. As a person who is center right, I disagreed with a certain amount of what he was saying, but I do understand that the main shtick of Charlie Kirk was the championing of free speech. So it's ironic that we now have the Trump administration and you have to understand the top cop is the attorney general. When you hear the top cop saying they're going to prosecute people for civil rights violations because they won't print a poster for Charlie Kirk's funeral or vigil or whatever, that should alarm you. Because you don't want to have to make the cake for the gay couple if you don't want to. I firmly believe that you as a business owner have the right to choose who you want to do service with, minus them being handicapped or of ethnic and religious reasons, right? That's all been laid out in civil rights discussion. Not printing a poster of a Charlie Kirk vigil is definitely not a civil rights violation. So you have the top attorney general of the United States, who's supposed to be super knowledgeable of the law, by the way, saying that they want to go and prosecute the dum-dums at the Home Depot or the printing center there who didn't print. Just go listen to. Let's go back since I got this stuff all queued up. Let's go listen to this ridiculousness, right? Let's get into this about this for a second, because not having to fulfill, you have the right to refuse. Listen, if you're an employer and you want to establish guidelines for your employees, that's fine. I firmly believe that you as an employer are really dented upon your chromosomal distribution in your DNA, dude. We're going to try to have more fun with this too, dude. I realized I needed to like actually see the comedy and all this stuff. That's what the suit helps with. It makes me feel. I'm looking at myself right here. Here she is, dude. Is this the one where she's yipping and yapping about civil rights violations, dude? I think so. Let's shrink me down and let's listen to these goofballs. Look at these just lame looking people, dude. I mean, look at Pam Bondage and that just sour-pussed dweeb Sean Hannity, dude. What's wrong with these people, man? You know what they say, dude. Politics is for people that weren't popular in high school, man. All right, let's listen to her, dude.
See a lot of young women as well being very vocal in their concern.
All right, wait.
You for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking at that, horrible things. And they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you.
No, you do not. No, you do not. That is not discrimination. Listen to this moron. This is the level of dumbness that we are afflicted with in our nation. This is the top cop. You wonder why you haven't seen any traction on the Epstein files? Why the pedos aren't getting wrapped up? Why they haven't done anything? Because this is the top cop. This is the top cop. This is the attorney general who's in charge of the FBI. Listen to this idiot, dude.
And they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet.
Are you telling me that this is acceptable? We're gonna roll into a nation where, like, do you realize? Wait till the script flips in the other direction, dude. Wait till they come out and the next administration and their lefty weirdo-ness, because, you know, the pendulum always goes back the other way. Wait till they come in and be like, oh, you can't print that poster you're going to print for your Christian gathering. Now we're going to prosecute you for that, dude. It's a violation of the transgender bike riders' freedom, dude. So we're going to prosecute you against it. Listen to the slippery slope of this slimy human being, dude. Listen to the slippery slope. This is insane, dude. I mean, I can't find the clip with her saying the free speech and this and that are not the same.
You shouldn't be employed anywhere if you're going to say that. And employers, you have an obligation to get rid of people. You need to look at people who are saying horrible things, and they shouldn't be working with you. Businesses cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters with Charlie's pictures on them for a vigil, you have to let them do that. We can prosecute you for that. I have Harmeet Dillon right now in our civil rights unit looking at that. Immediately, that Office Depot had done is they have created an army of people. I think millions of young people are coming out of the woodwork now. And
I hope millions of people come out of the woodwork to shun this psychopath, dude. Where is the key thing? I really want to hear her say.
Home at night and you look up on the TV and you see so many Americans, and Sean, you go into prosecutor mode, you go into law enforcement mode, and you just start doing your job. But then you get home at night and you look up on the TV and you see Charlie's face and know that he was assassinated. You know, he lost everything. Is an act, but justice will be served.
But obviously the DOJ coordination with the FBI and your office is acute right now. And
they're not cute.
What about the report about this roommate? What about the report?
Okay, we don't listen. This clown show about the dude is not what I'm interested in.
I believe that law was broken with doxing of cry for the First Amendment. There are certain things we cannot do. Celebration of the left. We saw.
And cannot discriminate. If you want to go in and print posters,
I just can't get over that the printing of posters is now a civil rights violation.
Come out publicly, and I think Kirk has done a great.
Totally agree. I think this movement, bringing drugs into our country, on those two.
They're trying to kill our kids, and the Department of War. We're thrilled to go into Memphis next week. The president signed the executive order today. We're working hand in hand.
Whoa! You just caught that.
Thrilled to go into Memphis next week.
What are we doing in Memphis next week?
We're thrilled to go into Memphis next week. The president signed the executive order today. We're working hand in hand with our U.S. senators, with the governor there. And we're just so excited about making Memphis safe again, just like we've done in D.C., Sean.
Dude, these people are so cringe, man. Like, dude, there has never been a bigger group of cringe individuals, dude. I mean, every group of them sucks, but what's going on in Memphis next week, dude? Oh, dude, is it not the volume not loud enough, dude? Oh, wait a minute. Sorry.
Thanks to Donald Trump.
It's not loud enough? Obviously, I don't quite have it dialed, dude. They could say you're cringe too. Okay, well, you know what, man? That's not very nice, dude. That's not very. Oh, you're a bootlicker for the machine. Oh, is that what we got here? Is like the bootlicker for the machine? Like, you want them to do this? You're like hoping that they go in and start demanding the You want people to get prosecuted because they won't print things. You want people I thought we stood on the whole thing that people shouldn't have to do things, dude. I mean, I think that is one of our like like kind of liberties is like, we shouldn't have to really do anything we don't want to do. Like, I get it. Like, you don't have to go work for the school district and uphold their guidelines. I firmly believe that if you do work for things and you sign the contract and the contract says, dude, we're going to look into your social media post and you better not be out of line or you're going to get fired. I think that's fair. But what I don't think is fair is I don't know if people are signing those kind of contracts when they get employed, dude. I don't think that that's what's going on. I think this is knee-jerk reactionaryism. And what you're going to see is this is going to switch back the other way, dude. This is going to be them going through your data points that you've put up and digging up you wearing a gung-ho t-shirt on your in some Instagram post with you and your 2A or whatever dumb message you had on your t-shirt and being like, see, that person's a baddie, dude. That person's like anti-people. And this to me is how you get the temperature raised, where people start polarizing even more. You give people the incentive to divide each other, dude, and be like, see, I have the ability to shut you down. I have the ability to get you fired from work. And listen, man, I somewhat agree, but I also don't believe that if you're a true conservative Christian, you should be sending your kid to a public school, first of all. So, yeah, I mean, it's the slippery slope. Yeah, should you have airline pilots that openly hate certain groups of people? Absolutely not. But I do think that where this has gotten a little bit crazy is the fact that there is sort of a hypocritical stance about it. And that's what I can't truly get behind. Listen, you want to shut down the First Amendment? You go change the Constitution. You go get the 2/3 majority and remove the First Amendment. Be my guest. If you want to get rid of the guns in this country, go remove the Second Amendment. Go through the process and get it handled, dude. But I don't appreciate this whole slippery slope thing where people are stoked that other people's freedoms are being curtailed for their own justified reasons. I think it's dangerous, not because, listen, man, I think that it's pretty vile to be like, listen, I do think there's a slippery slope between promoting violence. And you could argue you can argue what Destiny said on his podcast the other day about like is definitely inciting violence, dude. I do believe that you actively saying that certain people need to go get removed from Spaceship Earth is a somewhat sketchy thing. And I think the laws are already there. I don't think we need to get into this whole thing of tracking people down and making sure they get fired. I do believe as Christians, as a Christian, I don't know what you are. I do believe that we have a duty to show them the other cheek and prove to them that we're bigger and braver and stronger and more beautiful than they are with their low ideas, dude. And so to do to them your excuse being that they did it to us, I think is a really lame perspective, because I get the whole thing that I get that the lefty weirdos hate this country. I totally understand that. But if they can convince us to clamp down on our own freedoms to get back at them, they win. Like, I do really don't think people have actually thought this out about this enough. If you truly are alarmed at these people, just ignore them. stop making videos and spreading their message around and being like, look, because it makes you look super dark. I have to say, I've been checking this stuff out with the whole thing of people going in and celebrating that people are getting fired and then posting the videos of the people freaking out because they got fired and go, see, they deserved it. I go, and this is what I've been trying to say. You're proving their hatred. You're validating their hatred. Like, they hate the ideals of religious freedom, of Christianity, of nuclear family. They hate these things. And then you go track them down and get them fired. You're actually giving them a reason to like sit in their thing and be like, see, versus being like, you know what we're going to do? We found this person. We found this person who's obviously spun out about this. You know what we're going to do? We're going to actually go like pray for them, dude. Instead of us blowing them up and making their life miserable and getting them fired and doing everything. See, from a Christian perspective, the concept of making sure that people can't buy, sell, or trade or have the ability to be employed kind of is the one thing we're really sort of worried about. Like that's the one thing that sort of we're like, yeah, that's when it gets sketchy. So I don't think that going and to get these dum-dums tracked down and fired and publicly shamed. Listen, they were dumb enough to put these messages out into the internet. I don't get why you would do that if you're not ready for the repercussions. Like on that level, like fuck around and find out, dude. But on a deeper level, what they should have been met with was grace and prayer and actually kindness. What should have been done is a kinder path to maybe bring them towards us instead of expelling them. Because the one thing that we can look at through history is expelling people from society ultimately gives them a reason to sabotage the society they've been expelled from. It's not really ever been a productive human thing to expel people from society and expect them. What do you expect them to do? Ask yourself, when they were trying to expel you from society because you didn't want to get the injections, right? Think about what were you going to do? Were you going to go away quietly? Think about the people that stood their ground, didn't take the sauce, and then had the court system back their play, right? Like, ask yourself, do you think that expelling these people from their form of employment in this crazy economy of ours right now, that is actually doing anything beneficial to the society as a whole? And I argue that that's actually making society more dangerous, dude. Because now you're going to listen, what you want to know is what people have to think. You want to know, like, that's why I'm a free speech guy. Listen, man, this is my platform. I'm the authoritarian of my chat. Let's be clear. This is not the public commons, my chat. People are always like, you're a free speech guy. I go, but in my chat, I'm an authoritarian, dude, because I get to control the speech in my thing. We're not in public. See, when we're in public, that's where we're guaranteed free speech. We're not guaranteed free speech on my property. We're not guaranteed free speech in your business. We're not guaranteed free speech in your car. We're not guaranteed free speech in your backyard. We're guaranteed free speech in the public commons. Now, I get like this, and this is where it gets slippery slopey. I get, who are you to be like sending, like, he who lives in glass houses should not throw stones. So I would say that all the people that are like sending these clips to their bosses have equally lame stuff in their own digital profile that could be found and sent to their bosses. And what you're making that is fair game, dude. And that's what the system wants. The system wants us doxing each other and firing each other and removing us from society. You go stand over there in the corner with all those misfits, and you go stand over in the corner with those misfits, and each group of misfits thinks they're righteous, dude. The lefty loony weirdos aren't gonna be like, oh, dude, like, this is bad, dude. This is bad for me, dude. Like, oh my God, maybe I should like figure my life out. No, they're going to join with all the other expelled people and be like, those people over there took food off my plate. Those people over there did this to me. And they're going to be standing with someone who's like, yep, those people over there did the same thing to me. And they're going to be standing with another person who's like, yep, that person, those people over there did that to me too. And then what are they going to do? Because they still have access to the Second Amendment. Like, I don't think anyone's really thought this out. Like really, who's into all this, like, removing them from society, they should be fired. Okay, like, yeah, well, you want to ban them from certain aspects from civil society. Like, I like the whole... I was listening to Sagar talk about civil society and stuff, and I get it on a certain level, but like, yeah, you got to be civil in my house. I don't think you're required to be civil out in society. Yes, society will weed you out and do that, like, but I don't know, man, like, to me, it's the difference of like, I do think when you leave work, you get to go have your life. I do think that you leave work, you get to go have your life. And that involves whatever you want to do. But if you leave work and you wear the company logo out into the public comments and then you're screaming crazy stuff, well, I think that's a truly like bring it back to the HR people thing. But I don't like this concept that that your work life has something to do with your private life. I don't know if I'm down with that, dude. Listen, as a very public and vocal person, I don't really care. I'm not anonymous. I don't believe in anonymity. I'm not one of those dudes who's all like weird about that. But what I do think that is for most people, they have the right to leave work and do whatever they want and say whatever dumb crap they want to say and say stupid, hateful, violent, gross stuff. As long as they're not acting harmful to other people or inciting violence, I go, okay, I don't know if we're like what I hear going on here is we're giving employers the right to police my free space. Like, does anyone understand how dystopian that concept is? That somehow an employer owns you after work, owns your thought pattern, owns your voice after work. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can get behind this fire 'em thing. I get it. Like I would say if you're working for a public institution that's funded by taxpayer dollars. See, again, as a free speech guy, I think you have the right to say dumb stuff. If you want to put it out there, should I be able to pull my kid from your class? Absolutely. And the school district should be like, yeah, and then when all the kids get pulled from the class and there's no kids in the class, like, well, we gotta let you go. You don't have any kids in the class because every parent pulled their kids from the class. I don't know, man. Like I think this thing that's going on right now in our society needs to be like really thought about. And I don't like the one-sided knee-jerk reaction. And I really don't like the fact that it's based upon the death of another human being. I really don't like it. I didn't like it when they did it on the George Floyd thing. I did like again, like as lame as people are, like people deserve to rest in peace. When you're done, that's between their soul and God. And maybe they made it or maybe they didn't. Who are we to get in on that? So, but I do think we need to be a little bit more human about some of this and be like, do unto others as you would hope to have them do unto you, dude. You know what I mean? So like when I hear the top cop, the top prosecutor in our country just talking about it's a civil rights violation to not print a poster and those people should be prosecuted, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about, you sick, un-American fool? And again, you're talking to a dude who thinks America disappeared a long time ago, but they pretend to be an American, right? If you're gonna pretend to be an American, like you gotta pretend all the way. You don't get to be like, oh, it's a civil rights violation because you don't want to print a poster, dude, or you said something vile about the death of some dude. So you should have the full shunning of society. I think we reserve that for the pedos, dude. I think we reserve that, dude. Go to Megan's Law and look what's in your neighborhood, dude. Like nobody's acting out in vile ways. How about we take the entire federal government and weed out the pedos, dude? How about we get them first? How about we just get that group first? How about we worry about the weirdos who are saying stupid stuff kind of later, dude? Let's deal with the pedos. Let's get them out. Let's take care of the rapists. Let's get those dudes out. And if they happen to be demographically unique, well, that shouldn't have any big difference. And again, is you have the top attorney general focusing her attention to people saying stupid things and printing posters or not printing posters. I want the people that are making child porn hung from the freeway overpass. That's who I want to see rounded up and excommunicated from society. That's who I see that these people should be going after, is the people that think that it's okay to harm children. Dude, let's just start with that group and maybe work our way towards the drug dealers and oh wait, that's Big Pharma. Sorry, my bad. Forgot that Big Pharma's the drug dealer. Sorry, dude. So do you get what I'm saying about this stuff? Is if we proceed down this thing, we're saying stupid, vile, lame stuff, gets you excommunicated for society. That's fine today. Like, oh yeah, you're a right winger, and they said stupid stuff about Charlie Kirk that was vile. Like, well, when you say stupid stuff about their lame characters on their thing, and they determine that what you said is vile and worthy of shunning, because let me tell you, dude, the bar just keeps dropping on this. Yeah, sure, you can go saying that these vile things about Charlie Kirk is a shunnable thing. Well, what about when you say something like way toned down about their weirdos? Like what about when the pendulum flips and this stuff's been institutionalized in our society as acceptable? What happens then when they go, hey, Jim, Mr. Bearded Jim 2A guy, you know, you listen to that album and it's got a bunch of like really lame stuff, and you promoted that really lame. Remember when Tipper Gore and all those people were trying to do the thing with Suicide Solution by Ozzy Osbourne? Remember when they were doing all the things with Marilyn Manson? That was the right, by the way. You have to understand the right wingers of America have always been for censorship, dude. They have always been for censorship. The trick was that they somehow got the weirdo lefties to buy into censorship for their weird causes. So it made the right seem less censorship oriented. The right has always been for censorship, dude. Why do you think we don't go and buy music at the music store anymore, but why do you think that the warning labels were on the music, dude? That was from the right wingers, dude. The right wing has always been for censorship, dude. And the irony of look no further than where right-leaning tendencies go. It goes over to Israel, dude, and the Zionist state of Israel. You want to look at what America looks like with a bunch of right-wingers in charge? Look no further than the Zionist state of Israel, dude. And you want to look where like America goes with a bunch of left-wingers in charge? Look no further than the Zionist state of Israel, because they're both on the same team. I can't illustrate this enough, is they are both working for the same thing, is to invade your personal space and make you question your ideas. Make you be like, well, I shouldn't say that because I'm going to get like, someone's going to come and find my address and turn my statement over to the boss, dude. And I'm going to lose my job at the feed mill, dude. Like, oh, well, yeah, like you can't say that. You can't say that it's like this. Today it starts with the vile things about Charlie Kirk's assassination gets you banned from your job, to tomorrow you're saying that Kim Kardashian's unattractive and looks like she has plastic surgery. That's vile and hateful, dude. Kim Kardashian looks like she could be a dude. That's vile and hateful. That dude, you're fired from the feed factory, dude. Like, the bar just keeps coming down if we don't see what's going on here, dude. They'll start prosecuting you. Look no further than England, dude. Look no further than England, dude. By the way, that stuff going on over in the UK with that scumbag Tommy Robinson leading it is a psyop too, dude. Just FYI. Like, go look into who Tommy Robinson is. That dude is a full-on Zionist bootlicking shill, dude. And this is all part of the same agenda, dude. It's all the same agenda is to get you to be afraid to just be a normal human being. Listen, man. As long as you're... But listen, they're not going to come in and kick in anyone's... I don't know, man. I think that one of the big tropes they've put in our society is that somehow some jackbooted thugs are going to come and kick in your door and drag you away. I don't really see it like that. I think it's going to be some dude on the right. It's going to be some dude in Birkenstocks with a tie-dye is going to come kicking in your door and drag you away and bury you in their organic farm, dude, where they have their weird freak show. And then the other side is that dude's going to be sitting there, and the dudes that are going to come kick in their door are going to be a bunch of dudes in construction boots with camo pants and beer guts, are going to take them out and feed them to their hogs, dude. I don't think that it's the jackbooted state thing is the problem. I think it's literally, we're watching it right now. It's literally people sitting back and being like, that asshole deserves to lose a job, and it doesn't affect me, dude. And that mentality is where they start to be like, well, everybody, you shouldn't be anonymous on the internet, dude. Everybody should have to use their name and ID and get on the internet so we can, so you're the dude who track, like, it's the slippery slope. We're watching the end of some sort of like that. This is the shift. It has nothing to do. The Charlie Kirk thing's got nothing to do with Netanyahu or Israel, dude. Yeah, that's background noise. It probably does, but that's not what our system's seizing upon. It's got nothing to do with Kash Patel and the botched investigation, dude. That's deliberate, dude. This has to do with convincing people that it's okay to go and actually ruin the lives of other people for saying stupid stuff when they're not at work, dude. Like, seriously, like, think about it, dude. Think about all the stupid stuff that you do when you're not at work, dude. Imagine all of that getting sent to your boss and your boss being like, you know what? Like, I saw you at the supermarket and you were buying, you know, KY jelly and rubber gloves. You're fired. But why? Well, KY jelly and rubber gloves means you were fisting someone. I don't know where this stops, but the problem is that this is. You like my tie? Thank you. Yeah, dude. I go to the thrift store, get goodies, dude. But so. Yeah, okay. Like Grizzly Moto 923. The sickness of our society is the lady who stole the baseball. And I argue she didn't steal the baseball, dude. I argue it was fair play where she blew it is that the dad stole the baseball. She bumbled the catch. And her problem was she went and demanded the baseball back. I argue the dad stole the baseball in the first place if we want to really get down to brass tacks in the fairness of it all, dude. But that's the game out there in center field, dude, or the stands or whatever they're called, where people hang out and do dumb sports things, dude. And wear their jerseys and get weird about my team, dude. My team that's making God. I was so, on just a side note, I was going to take Al to go to a baseball game, right? Because he loves to play baseball. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go take him. And I saw the ticket prices. I was like, dude, who can afford this, dude? Who can afford to go to a baseball game, dude? It is crazy expensive, dude. And then buy a bunch of weird jerseys and get all weird there about your team and all, like, yeah, the thing with the lady was sick, dude. Like, that's our society's sick. Like, they're like, who knows what happens to that lady, dude? Does she check out permanently because she's now that lady? Maybe. Like, I think we have a real responsibility to be, like, real careful with people, dude. Like, we don't know what someone's going through, dude. Like, we have no idea. Like, there was that lady, dude, the one with the bad makeup, dude, that looked like she had the bronzer with the, like, charcoal eyebrows, who was crying in her car. And you know, if you listen to her, she's talking about working at a drug rehab. And she got fired from her job at a drug rehab. You know why she works at a drug rehab, right? Is because she probably was a drug addict. And she's trying to get her life back together. And she's got a job at a drug rehab. And she said some stupid shit on the internet. And now the person who might not have access to another job might go back to doing drugs, dude. Again, I think it's irresponsible for us to go and mess up people's lives. I even think it's irresponsible even if they're asking for it, dude. I don't have a problem with the... I don't know, dude. When I even think I don't have a problem with it, I almost do. I don't have a problem with a kid shooting video in a classroom and a teacher is promoting propaganda of dark stuff. I think that's fair game. I think that is someone in that person's sphere of influence doing it and blowing it up. I think that's almost legit. I think that's you being a citizen reporter. I think that's protected First Amendment activity. I think all of us are citizen reporters and we have a responsibility when we catch someone in live time, we can make a case against them. I think it's super irresponsible for someone sitting on the other side of the country to be like, oh, they said something dumb, so let's make sure they get removed from their job. I think it's a slippery slope, and you could argue those people shouldn't be working at the on the school and be college administrators and nurses and doctors, and yeah, I get it. I get that that argument, but I think there's a process that we have a responsibility to see the bigger picture and be like, that those in glass houses should not throw rocks, dude. I don't know. I couldn't imagine doing that to someone. I don't know, man. It's different when they're in your field of view, dude. Yeah, I don't, the meanie word thing, I don't think's appropriate, dude. Cause I've heard a lot of these commenters, like public speakers, get real over and what I would say is super sketchy speech, dude. I don't know. All right. That's an hour. I got to go have dinner with the family, dude. I'm cooking in the suit, by the way, dude. It's so hot. I like it, though. I'm into the vibe, right? Listen, I do think that there is a certain aspect to. I got to do something with the hair over here, though, dude. It's a little offsetting, dude. Yeah, I'm with you, Alexander Lono. That's what I'm saying. But I think that cruelty swings back the other way, dude. And I think we got to be real careful about it. I think that these people are setting us up for failure. I think that the Pam Bondis of the world and all the people promoting this weird thing are setting us up for failure. I really do think it's a super dangerous thing. And I think that we ought to say no. We don't want people desperate, dude. I really don't see how making someone desperate helps anyone, dude. It's the you like the new format? I'm gonna get the videos queued up better next time. So this is gonna work, right? And yeah. Thank you, Cougar Cams. No, this is something like we're in the midst of the takeover right now, and it's coming in this very interesting way of the takeovers coming by us doing it to ourselves. Like that's the trick. Like if you had asked me a week ago if they could really trick us this hard into doing ourselves in, I would have been like, I don't think people are this crazy. People have showed themselves to be crazy on this stuff. And the irony of it is the dude they're doing it in the name of, I don't really think he would approve. I think if Charlie Kirk could pop up right now and be like, dude, what are you people doing it? Not in my name. I think Charlie Kirk, if he could go right now, is be like, so people are making fun of my assassination and being vile. I think he would say, that's free speech, and we need to pray for them. I really do think that I would hope, I don't know what, I mean, I've watched enough of his stuff over the last, 5 or 6 years to be like, I think that dude was righteous enough to be like, we don't want to do this. We want to actually talk this out. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I'm not wrong about that. This is a slippery slope into insanity, dude. Yeah, it might be. Anyway, everyone, you can drink and drive till you get caught. Then you might lose your job. Yeah, but drinking and driving is a totally different thing, man. That's totally different, man. He would tell everyone to let him speak. Yeah, I think this is a true, but that's what the system does. The system The system uses us against ourselves, man. The system is evil and deprived, and there's no fixing it with an election or thing. It's thank you, brother. Thank you, John. And with that said, I'm gonna get going here. I'm gonna go have dinner and hang out with the family. Like, subscribe, join, become a member. Dodge the soul traps. There's a lot of soul traps right now, and use the name tags. Be kind to one another, dude. And if you like what's going on here, you can tip your talker. There's links down below. I will have a bunch of stuff on Thursday. I printed a bunch of t-shirts up today in my garage, and we did all that. So this is the Illusion signing off from Spaceship Earth, and keep on keeping on. All right, how do I